Running is addictive. However, there was a point in my life where I did not particularly fancy running, especially long distances. I did very minimal running, mostly sprints. My training was very sport specific, and it was something that I did not feel was necessary to add to my training. If only I had the knowledge that I do now, I would have added way more running back to my training like a couple decades ago, because that would have been a great boost to my stamina as well as my overall health. I only had a taste of distance running about 7 years ago when I was recovering from my injuries. It was introduced to me by someone who was close to me. That was the point where my perspective on running totally changed. There were so many things that I learned back then which were game changers to the uninitiated. I could see the improvements in my running pretty clearly, of course with a proper training plan in place. I mentioned in my video last week about how I'm running more consistently now. So let me share with you how I've made the little achievements that I'm very happy with. First of all, I signed up for a race earlier this year. And that was to make me force out a schedule to run more consistently. I believe when you set a goal or a deadline to something, you will work on it even harder. And more often than not, you have a higher chance of accomplishing it. And in my case, that did not work out the way I wanted it to. I was busy with work and my schedule was pretty hectic, so I wasn't consistent with my running at all. I barely did much running. The race was in October and I only started running again like more consistently at late September, so that was so tight. My original plan was to run a sub 60 10 km, so clearly not feasible with the limited amount of time that I have to train up for it. I did close to 1 hour 6 minutes for that race. However, that was the point where my consistency started to come in. From that period on, I finally nailed down a daily schedule which made me train more consistently every single day doing something that is working towards my goals. Second thing is to create a habit or a system to help you get your workout session on. And in my case, that was forcing myself to sleep early. That helps with waking up early too. And now, latest at 6 a.m, I'm out of the house either for my run or to the gym. This daily routine made it so much easier for me. I go to the gym on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sundays, I'm out for my run. I initially started out in October, right after the race. I wanted to be more consistent. So at that point in time, I used the Garmin Run Coach. I used my watch. So I found the training to be tougher than what I wanted to. I wanted to slowly build up at a more relaxed pace. So eventually I tweaked out my own training plan. So I started out with a 4 km per session run week, and I wanted to build that up by 10% every single week. I did skip out eventually and I increased my mileage per session by 1 km every single week. I don't recommend following that. It's best to have patience in this to prevent injuries and also to prepare your body for the mileage that is gonna come. And you also don't want to feel fatigue all the time. So 5 km, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Eventually here I am doing 10 km every single running session. I'm doing super easy paces, very achievable for anyone out there. And for me, that will be in the 7-minute plus per km range. And on days that I want to go a little bit faster, moderate speed, I would go around 6 minutes plus per km. It is still achievable without me feeling like I'm dying throughout the day. So the following clips are from my run yesterday.
First kilometer, 7:30. Second kilometer, 7:04. 3 km, 7 minutes. 4 km, 6:53. 5 km, 6:59. 6 km, 6:59. 7 km, 6:49. 8 km, 6:39. 9 km, 6:38. 10 km. 10 km done. I went a little faster at the last km.
Now that was a good run session for me. Nothing too intense, but just a little notch up from what I usually run. I have already planned to add speed works to my runs in late January, third or fourth week of January. So I will add on tempo runs and intervals depending on which comes first. And that will also be gradually tapered towards my goals for Hyrox. So I'm excited for that. Really want to see how that pans out. So if you are a runner yourself, maybe you are just starting out, or you have been running for a long time, you have tips and things that you want to share from your experiences, do feel free to leave down in the comments section. We can all learn from that. If you have made it this far in the video and would like to follow me on this journey on getting fitter and stronger for 2025, do subscribe to my channel, drop a like, that will be greatly appreciated. And like I mentioned, drop some of your experiences down here. We can all learn from that. And I'll see you in the next one. And hey, Happy New Year.